All right, and we're on. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Sideline Sitdown here on Real Sports Live. I'm Billy Watson, joined today by Weslaco alum Richard Olszak. Richard, thanks for joining us today.
No problem, man. Glad to be here.
Yes, sir. So Olszak, little quick time on Richard right now. Went to Weslaco High, played his football days there. I believe graduated in 2018. Is that correct?
Yeah, 2018.
2018, took off to Crown College, played a season there, and then transferred to Texas Tech, hoping to make it to the Tech team. And well, there you know, there you have it. Now he's successfully walked on. I think it was after 2 tries, right?
Yeah, 2 tries.
First time wasn't a charm, and then got it the second time, and now he's just like every student athlete right now in the nation, just holding on and waiting for word from authorities and the local law enforcement and government officials, just trying to get back on the field. Richard, how's that been dealing with just the coronavirus and you trying to prepare for football?
Well, I'm still here in Lubbock, so there's like a couple of us that are still out here. We're still here in the field. There's this high school field we'll go to, do what we would be doing at practice, but like on our own terms. There's an outside weight room at one of the apartments, so still trying to get that weight workout in. We have like a little weight card script, so trying to follow that as much as we can. And then on the side of the football aspect, we get on Zoom meetings like this, Monday through Friday, talk to our coaches, position meetings, team meetings, stuff like that. Just kind of stay in the mix of it.
Sounds good. I want to back up just a little bit, get some of the people watching here to get to know you a little bit. So we'll throw some quick hitters at you. First question, favorite food. We're gonna go this route. What's your favorite food?
Man, I'm about to go with wings, bro.
Wings? Any specific brand? Any specific place?
Wingstop or Buffalo's. Sure,
okay.
top two.
That's the argument though, because Buffs that's the main argument. So if you had to choose from there,
probably Wingstop.
All right. Favorite NFL team?
Houston Texans.
Houston Texans. Who's your favorite player?
Deshaun.
Is that like a league thing or just like Deshaun because of the team?
Just the team.
Just the team? Okay. What about favorite Texas Tech player since you're on Texas Tech football team?
Like as of right now or like all time?
Just any overall Texas Tech football player who's been your like favorite or who you liked ever?
That's an argument, man, between Amendola and Welker for sure.
I'm surprised you didn't say Pat Mahomes, dude. Come on.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
No, I understand. I understand.
My inspiration right there.
Yeah. So Amendola or Welker, right? Let's get one more in there before we transition into your career. Trying to think one off the top of my head. Or do you actually have a fun fact or anything you'd like to share?
Not really, man.
Have to fun either. Well, let's jump right on into it. Let's talk about your days in Weslaco High. How'd you start getting talks about playing collegiately at college football?
Weslaco, I played running back up to about junior year. I know I always had speed. It was kind of the size aspect of it. Senior year, I played receiver. One of my friends was in Minnesota playing at Crown. So basically, really, I just sent him my highlight tape. Said, hey, man, can you talk to coaches for me? He showed the coaches, and, they were interested and just took the offer.
Nice. And then so you went to Crown College, didn't get the experience you wanted to. And so you're at Crown College right now in your first your season's done. Didn't get to play much as you thought you would. Talk about what you were trying to do going into that spring. Were you trying to transfer to another university to play football, or were you just trying to get to a college where you could just like, okay, I'm going to focus more on academics, or what was your thinking into that?
Well, so like at the end of my Crown season, going into my sophomore year there, I would have been a starter at corner. But it was just like a lot of things into it, man. It was really cold out there. I'm from South Texas, so that was like a big thing, man.
Where's Crown College again?
This is in St. Bonifacius, Minnesota.
Minnesota, dang. Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, yeah, no, man. Yeah, man. So it was just that was a big part of it. A lot of my teammates that my signing class were leaving, going back home, going to other schools. And then also it was just I wanted to come back to Texas. So really I was just thinking about between three schools, UTEP, UTSA, and Texas Tech. I applied like really last minute. I got accepted to UTEP, and then I got accepted, but Texas Tech was like my top option. So I didn't get accepted to Texas Tech maybe like 3 days prior to enrollment here. So as soon as I got accepted, man, I said I'm going to Texas Tech. And obviously they have like a good walk-on history. So I know I had a pretty good shot if I just put the work in, came here. That was like my mindset.
And did you pick Texas Tech because did you have like a not like a fan, I don't want to say fangirl moment, but did you like have a thing for like the coaching staff because it was Kingsbury transitioning into the Wells period? So did you know a thing or two about Wells coming in to Tech?
Um, Honestly, prior to like coming, I didn't even know there was a coaching transition until I got here.
Mhm.
Um, so when they did come in, I kind of like did my research, saw what offense they ran, defense they ran, his record at Utah State, how he liked things done, and I mean like I like the way he's gonna run the program. Very stern coach. He knows what he wants. He wants us all to buy in. So
All right, so you enroll here in the spring of 2019, 2018 or 2019?
2019.
2019. Okay, so you're here on campus, Texas Tech University. Uh, you went through a tryout process for the first time. Talk about what you learned from that, and talk about what you had going into that first tryout.
So like for the first tryout, I really wasn't prepared. It was honestly a shocker to me. They tested a lot of stuff that I didn't know we were gonna test. A lot of agilities and stuff that I had really never practiced before, footwork drills, stuff like that. So I was really unprepared. I'm not gonna lie for that first one. But after that first one, now that I knew what we were gonna do, kind of like helped me just get ready for the next one.
And then, how did you prepare for the second one? I know you put on some weight, you put on some muscle. Talk about what else you did, and that's actually how I got to meet you. Actually, I know you played with Zach and Darius over the breaks and stuff. So talk about what you did to prepare better.
Okay, so leading up to the second one, really like I said, put on muscle weight. Uh, I went from about 156 to 180, 185. Um, so really it was just getting bigger, being able to have my size there at the D1 level. That was the first and foremost part of it. Um, Mostly working on explosiveness, my vertical 40, speed, agilities, a lot of footwork drills, a lot of ladder drills. And then, so really I was actually trying out for receiver initially, and slowly, like maybe like a month prior to the tryout is when I transferred to corner. So I started working on a lot of back pedal drills and stuff like that. And then also, like you said, working out with Zach when I went down and stuff, and Darius and like whoever else was like down to come to the field and put in work.
Mhm. Talk about your relationship with them. I know they all have the same dream as well, trying to get through a better program the next year. And I know Zach got into another community college and got some offers. So talk about that little all the y'all similarities, I guess. Talk about y'all's goals, I guess, that y'all had working together.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we all really established since we were younger. I mean, we've all known each other since we were younger that we wanted to play at a Division I level. Um, Really, we just got that time we met up. We just really talked about where we're at right now, where we wanted to go, um, what work we needed to do, coaches to contact. We helped each other a lot with like contacting coaches, um, getting our name out there, just stuff like that. Really just working out together and stuff.
So then going into your next tryout, you said you were a bit more prepared. Talk about that feeling finishing the not finishing the trial, but talk about the feeling you had after the tryout. And I guess did you have a confidence after that, knowing that you did better, or how did that go?
Oh yeah, most definitely. The first tryout I left, I mean, I was really unsure about myself. Kind of had a doubt that I didn't make it. But after this one, I ran a really good 40, had a really good vert, did really good on the agilities, reaction drills. It was kind of like, you know, I left there confidently knowing that like I left everything out there knowing I was going to make it.
And then the big moment, talk about seeing your name on there. I think you were the fourth or fifth one down. Talk about what that moment you got the results and talk about what it was like just to see your name and know you're a Texas Tech Red Raider.
Well, actually, man, so I was going to check till later on in the day. One of my friends here who actually tried out with me, he Snapchatted me. I hadn't gone yet. He's like, "Hey man, just want to say you made it. Congrats, you deserved it." I was like, "Bro, don't play with me right now. Like, bro, that's not funny." And he's like, "No, man, being for real. Come check it out." So then I went, and then sure enough, man, name was on there. It was just a good feeling, man. It was, you know, something you worked for so long. It's finally accomplished. It just felt good.
So now I'm kind of gonna recircle back to the COVID-19 thing. You guys had a couple practices in for spring, and I think a few days, I don't remember the exact date, but a few days ago, it might have been the Friday actually that you guys would have had your spring game. So look, were you excited for that? I mean, it looked really bad from the beginning in like early March when this whole thing started, the coronavirus started happening. What was it like just to have that? I mean, you work so hard, and then now it's kind of like we're on standby right now.
Yeah, no, man. I was really excited for it. I was actually looking forward to it, you know. Hoping to make plays if I got in. Just prove myself a little bit. But yeah, it's frustrating because I mean, you know, I'm barely coming in like 2 weeks into it, and then this whole thing happens. But I mean, we're still on Zoom, still trying to learn a lot. I'm at a new position too, DB. So I was really getting the hang of it, and then I mean, we kind of put a halt to it. So I'm guess really just maintaining now. But that spring game would have honestly gave me an opportunity that I needed.
Mhm. So I know you mentioned to me you've been studying film and looking back at old games from the past years. What games have you been looking at, and what's been your favorite group to watch, I guess?
I've watched the Oklahoma game, Texas game, UTEP obviously since we're gonna play them this year, in the first round of the season. Um, shoot Baylor, Kansas, really mostly all the Big 12 teams. My favorite group to watch, Oklahoma for sure. They're hungry. They got some dogs over there. They're just firing on all ends. So at corner, they got like a good group of receivers coming in now also. So that's probably like my favorite team to like prepare for.
And another thing, if the season and when the season comes around, I know there's going to be a lot of things you're going to look forward to, but as far as practicing right now, I know you told me that it's been hard adjusting and getting into practices. So what's that like, man? Getting into the more higher speed and higher level of play. So I guess
Yeah, it's on.
what's been the transition been like for you?
It's a big transition, man. It's especially from high school, even to high school to like the D3 in Minnesota was a transition, but from D3 to this, it's just big transition. I mean, everything's really high speed. A lot of it you gotta learn on your own. They expect you to learn it fast, quick. There's really no time for like slacking or second guessing yourself. Uh, it's just a lot of high tempo stuff.
Mm-hmm. And I did want to mention you have the friends that played for that are on the A&M and then LSU team, Gunnar Henderson and I think it was Matt, right? What's your relationship with them? Is it almost similar to Darius and Zach, or what's y'all's relationship?
Well, guy at LSU, Michael, me and him grew up together, uh, literally since kinder. I think played ball all the way up until junior year. He left our senior year. But I mean, I haven't really kept in contact with him that much. But I mean, he's always been a good player. And we've always like I said, went to elementary together. We've always had that same group of friends. But I just congratulated him whenever they won the national championship. So that's basically the last time I've talked to him. Gunnar, he's a good competitor, man. I mean, he's always been good at football, good at track. We used to compete against each other in track and Pop Warner days. Haven't really talked to him lately. But yeah, I just more so talked to Tyler. Tyler's the one who told me that they walked on. But yeah, it's really just about it. Tyler actually asked me what we did at the tryouts here. So I just kind of told him, like, I mean, we're going to work 40s, verts, agility drills. Getting the heads up because I think A&M might have done the same thing. But yeah, that's about it, man.
Yeah, I think he said it was a really intense a tryout. They had him do. It wasn't even like football stuff that they did that it made it difficult. It was more of like agility stuff, and what I got out of it was more military stuff since A&M's sort of like a military school because they have the Corps cadets and all that good
Yeah.
stuff, man. So, yeah, dude. One more question before I think we wrap up. Actually, two. What number are you hoping to wear?
They gave me number 21, which I don't mind. I like it. It's a good
You
number.
like it? Is any reason you do, or was that the number you chose?
They kind of just gave it to me. I mean, they didn't really give us an option, but I mean, I like it. It's a good number. I mean, it's not bad. So
It's a good DB number.
yeah, it is a good DB number, man. I like it a lot.
Yeah. So one more thing. When that day comes, and if that day comes, regarding this whole pandemic thing, how excited will you be to run out through the tunnel and touch the saddle, just run through the smoke, man?
I'm excited. I mean, I know it's gonna be like a feeling like no other. I just, I want to experience it. I'm ready to experience it. Yeah, man, I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Hopefully we get back to Texas Tech. Hopefully, you'll make it down back to the Valley so you can see your family. You'll have to wait a week because you'll be playing at UTEP, and then Texas Tech will open up against Alabama State the following week. Any shout outs you want to give before we wrap it up, man?
I mean, shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to you. Really helped me out here when you were here at Tech. And then just kind of like covering me and stuff. Yeah, that's about it, man. Just appreciate y'all having me on. Appreciate y'all reaching out. That's about it.
All right, that's gonna do it for our show. We got another 5 o'clock gig going on. Kevin will be on with a coach from South San Antonio. That'll be at 5 o'clock. Richard Olszak, congrats to you. I got to see you work out, and I know you're a hard worker, dude. Congrats to you, and I'll see you around up there, man.
Appreciate it, bro. See you around, man. Take care.
Be safe.